So Raj Giri says WWE today announced the What Do You Want to Talk About podcast hosted by Cody Rhodes. The first episode will debut later this month with new episodes launching every other week. So shout out Cody Rhodes gets another gig. Speaking of podcasts, here's Liv and Dom playing.
That's a play for a younger audience, by the way, who won't grow up listening to podcasts by grifters.
Yeah. Well, if you want to know about your tribal chief, he updated us on his training leading into WrestleMania here. Let's take a look.
It's funny because a lot of people call me a part-timer. A lot of people got a lot of things to say about my schedule. I'm no part-timer. I'm a full-time cash cow. Every second that I'm breathing, I'm working. That's how this whole thing works. Proof of concept. This business lives off me. Don't ever get it confused. Every second that I'm breathing, I'm working.
I feel like someone told him to watch LeBron videos and just do what LeBron does.
Yeah, he's better than LeBron.
Not a bad idea, though.
So report, New Japan getting closer to an agreement with WWE. We covered this earlier, but I mean, The Rock with the New Japan shirt. I've been talking about this for months and months and months. It was part of my 20 predictions at Christmas on the Christmas special for 2025. I said New Japan will distance themselves from AEW. They won't outright refuse to work with them, but they'll try and partner up more with WWE, especially when I saw the United Japanese Pro Wrestling Alliance or whatever, basically the NWA in Japan, New Japan sort of a part of that, where they're going to trade talent and help each other grow again. They're trying to get wrestling going again in Japan. I think they're going to work with WWE. We see The Rock here wearing a New Japan shirt. This isn't by coincidence. We see that after 3 years, the New Japan World aired its final broadcast of AEW with Japanese commentary, so
this was weird.
Commentary will be
this was
be
weird.
There.
Your partners with AEW, your New Japan AEW, they have a partnership, and Japan is just no longer going to broadcast the show with Japanese commentary. It's like
because nobody's watching it. Japanese guys aren't watching it, man.
Brutal. Well, even still, like it's just a weird thing to you have a partnership. Like, what do you mean you're not going to broadcast it in the native language?
Yeah,
like that. So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, this person points out that on Bloodsport, they go, I would also like to point out that AEW's partner promotion, Stardom, has matches against WWE's wrestlers, and I'm not seeing the Marigold wrestlers at all. Interesting that one company was called The Feeder, and then its owner was blamed of funneling wrestlers to WWE.
That was a red herring, huh?
And then you have Tanahashi-san saying that he admires WWE's ability to create stars, and characters. So
that's it's the most important. By the way, that's the most important one because I've seen a lot of I'll call them like non-WWE wrestling fans. I don't want to call them sickos because they're like very big New Japan fans as well. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. But I've seen a lot of them confuse that President Tanahashi is like just a character. He's not. Like this is a company that is owned by Bushiroad that is a public company. He is the equivalent of Nick Khan. And you have to think that he is not going to do what's worst for business. Regardless of what the emotional attachment is to New Japan, that is the biggest key here. And when you start to look at who they're involved with, their business media partners over in Japan, and you consider that WWE and TKO have partnerships with them, you start to realize that like there's a 6 degrees of separation that like, boy, could we do something here? And if you listen to Nick Khan speak today in his interviews, like that's how this guy operates. He wheels, he deals. He figures out business situations that work for people and make them money. And that's what New Japan needs. That's what Bushiroad needs. And President Tanahashi is not a gimmick. That's an actual person in a role that is somewhat important.
So speaking of ways to make money, breaking. For WrestleMania 41, all superstars will be wearing a WrestleMania patch on their gear. After the event, each patch will be placed into a one-of-one trading card. These one-of-one cards will then be inserted into random packs of upcoming trading card set for lucky fans to find. And a bunch of people were triggered by this. A bunch of idiots are getting mad at this. Like, this is so cringe. A, they're tiny as B, it looks like it's going to blend into people's gear. C, they have Raw and SmackDown debut ones. People are like, oh, imagine Umaga wearing that. Yeah, he'd just wear it on the inside of his tights, you idiot. He'd just be on the inside part. And also, baseball players and hockey players and football players and basketball players have all done this. This is just a billion-year-old thing that they've done with trading cards that they're now bringing back and figured out a way to insert it into wrestling, because wrestlers aren't going to chop their gear up, because it's not like NHL where you have like 100 of the same jerseys and then you got to slap different numbers and last names on them. It's like, wrestling gear is the way it's made is like Rey Mysterio has his own guy, for instance. He's not going to just let anyone make his gear. So you do these patches instead. And this is just like an old, innovative way to bring back an old thing, because pulling cards is popular again. And people bitching about this and groaning. It's like, you won't even notice it. It's insane to me.
Pulling cards is popular again, but when is pulling cards not popular to the audience that pulls cards? And that is an industry that has long sustained itself.
Yeah, forever.
It's always been a hobby. It's always been a thing for kids. It becomes a thing for collectors. It's no different than like comic books or any of that.
Yep.
And a lot of the people dunking on this probably love collecting comic books. But what I like here is like WWE is strategically coming up with more ways to like innovate what they've done for years. And I used to make fun of WWE when I called it like late stage capitalism. Like, let's just slap our logo on anything, a credit card, a lottery ticket, whatever. That's not innovative. That's late stage capitalism. Like, that's just stamp Mickey Mouse ears on shit. But like
Batman with the Bat Visa in the
right. Like, and when they're broke out of ideas, because it's like that's what they do. Right. This is innovative. This is picking up on a trend that's never really not been a trend, and trading cards is popular, and there is an audience for that, and this is unique. And I think it's just more evidence of like furthering partnerships. Like, good for Topps to get this deal. They've gone through a lot of hell with Fanatics, and it's good to see like that starting to heal by way of WWE. Topps, Fanatics, and who sits in the middle? WWE. I think it's great.
In not so serious stuff, Seth Rollins says that he would step into the octagon and fight CM Punk in the UFC.
Punk also had an MMA fight. I don't know how many. I think he had an MMA fight. Would you shut up? Would you fight him in an MMA fight?
In an MMA fight?
Would you really fight him for real?
Sure. Yeah, I would. Look, I'm not going to just bust, into his locker room backstage and start.
Shit. I'm not just going to bust into his locker. Oh, shit. Can't help but take shots at the Bucks, because at the end of the day, they're like friendly. They're like teammate rivals now, Punk and Seth, like they're on the same team at the end of the day, even if
they're doing big business together, actual big business. What was the match they had in NXT years ago where they did like a work shoot type fight? They did. It was. I think Matt Riddle was in it.
The Fight Pit.
The Fight Pit.
Yeah.
Who says no? Like, pop a number on Netflix. Like, that's something to build up to. You did a cage match. Now do a Fight Pit.
Yeah, do a Fight Pit and then get like Daniel Cormier or one of those guys to referee again, like a shoot, like Kurt Angle comes in. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so. Yo, can we call that?
Lighten them up.
Me odds.
But like, if Dana White wanted to book CM Punk for Seth Rollins, first like I guess non-UFC fighter fight on one of his cards, I'd put on the gloves and give it a go. It might be the only one I do, but yeah, I would do. You put me in there with like any of the other guys in my weight class, I'm out. But yeah, Dana, you want to make some money? Book it, brother.
That would be fun.
Give us a few months. Give me a few months. Give me like a training camp. But I feel like I could.
I don't know. I think Punk would submit Rollins if I had to bet. Because like, here's the thing: Punk's not like some wizard purple belt, or maybe he's got a blue belt, or so. I don't even know what he's got now. Right? It's just that he's done. You don't just pick up jiu-jitsu and things like that overnight, like give us a couple months to train your cardio, it's like, you're not going to pick up elite boxing skill and shit in that amount of time.
He's going to hit up Logan and be like, teach me. Logan Paul learned to box. Like, you tell me.
I know, but he took a lot of time and he surrounded himself, and Logan's not that good, to be honest. He's not that good of a boxer. Jake's way better.
That's why I didn't say Jake.
Right, but they just like shut their whole lives down, moved to Puerto Rico, and like learned how to box. Man, if you had the money, like Rollins could do the same thing, but it's not like he's dedicating his life to boxing. And then he learns boxing. Punk shoots a double leg, and then what? We saw Rollins get taken down by a fan who shot a double leg on him. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah,
so I don't know about.
He would get taken down. Punk would go for a takedown.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. So
funny,
and
though.
like, yeah, Punk has trained with some legit too, like for longer than you would think. You know, even to get ready for his WWE return.
Everyone clowns on him losing, but like straight up, he did the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the WWE ID Championship Tournament. So Zeta Steele versus Kylie Ray, Marcus Mathers versus Sam Holloway, Ice Williams versus Atticus Kogar from GCW versus Aaron Roberts, Aaron Rourke versus It's Gal, Jordan Oasis versus Freedom Ramsey, Zara Zacher versus Izzy Moreno, and then a 6-man tag team match, Swipe Right versus Jack Cartwheel and Cappuccino Jones and Sean Legacy there. So I don't know, just some.
I'm the perfect audience for this because I don't know who a single one of those people are outside of Izzy, and obviously Kylie Ray. But like WWE puts their name behind this, and this gets covered on a show like yours, and I know who it is. I know who these people are now, or at least I don't know who these people are, but I know I've heard their names, and if I see them, I would be like, oh. Whereas, like, so I would just like somebody to explain how that's not good for wrestling.
I know. It's so stupid that people complain about that shit. Oh no, they're gonna get more eyeballs on indies. Speaking of eyeballs, Doja Cat says all her Fortnite skins are baddies and proceeds to put on her Bianca Belair Fortnite skin. So I guess this is Doja Cat playing.
Look how cute it is. Like Ryan has it, and that's a straight man. Like, why don't I have that? Ryan, you can't send me a skin?
I've never played Fortnite.
Never, but like, tell me again that WWE is not mainstream and that they don't make stars, that Bianca Belair is not like one of their biggest. Right.
WWE's Natalya reveals that Nikki Bella has been having private training sessions with her. Nikki actually has been coming and training with me privately, so she flies in every week, and she's been coming and working with me. She's coming back to the WWE for sure, at least one more run or to try and get a Mania match next year or something. And, yeah, shout out Giga Chad, Chris Van Vliet. And are you a Bella fan or what?
I wouldn't mind her coming back. I think it'd be entertaining, but, like, this goes back to the thing earlier, like Natty's on the bench, or is Natty training people and working with people, and that's what her deal is inclusive of. Anyway, I just, shout out Bella coming back, and then they'll do the Bella twins, and they'll go into the Hall of Fame, and then who's going to be there, and all roads lead back to
John Cena. No, I'm just kidding. They're already in the Hall of Fame, though. They did it during the pandemic, like when everybody forgot, that one that everyone forgot.
I forgot. Yeah. Wow. I must not be that much of a Fed fan.
It is what it is, you sicko.
So,
I was just going to say Triple H and Nick Khan revealed that Travis Scott told them he slapped Cody Rhodes so hard because The Rock told him that he needed to slap the shit out of him.
Believable.
So Khan said Triple H did tell Travis after, like, hey, that was a pretty hard slap. We'll show you how to pull your punches a little bit. Travis said, Dwayne Johnson told me you better slap the shit out of him or people are going to think that you don't have it. So I just did that. Triple H said that. Ironically, the only person that didn't complain about the slap was Cody Rhodes. He just wanted it to look good. So there's
nothing about that story that is not believable.
Yeah. So Nick Khan expects a number of AEW wrestlers to jump ship once WWE once their contracts expire. He says in terms of the other wrestling promotions, the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers and we're happy about that. When contractually they are available to talk and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. Nothing but respect to the father who finances it and owns the Jaguars and all of those other things. Nick Khan cooking, Tony Khan.
Back to there's only room in wrestling for one Khan, and Tony thought it was him.
Yeah.
There might only be room in sports and entertainment for one Khan, and it's not Tony. And
it's Nick, dude.
Look where this is taking place, though.
He's like, yeah, dude, your kid. Like, on Bill Simmons' podcast as well. But he's like, yeah, the kid of the Jaguars owner. Just the fact he dismisses him like that is so funny.
This is what we call a receipt. And it's taking place on the Bill Simmons podcast. You know anything about Bill Simmons?
Well, of course, good sir.
So like Bill Simmons is not a nobody, and Bill Simmons is very much like in that sports media world.
Yeah.
And they are just open flaming the son of the owner of the Jaguars, which it's happened in other places as well. Like this is not a like tribalistic thing. Like Tony Khan is bad news. Tony Khan is not a serious person, and serious places talk about that. And wrestling fans celebrate him. So
speaking of the Bill Simmons show, Nick Khan says that WWE won't sign people to bench them and only sign people they want to use. That's something we won't do. We won't sign and bench people. We sign people who we want to use. If another entity signs and benches people like now, that's not something we would do. Sean Ross Sapp had a hissy fit about it. We move along. So Stephanie McMahon continues to be in these interview streets with her new podcast, What's Your Story? And Alfred Kunawa here, this is nasty. I did a podcast with him, Pro Wrestle Times Podcast 92, that dropped this morning. So you guys are getting a double dose of your boy Phil. And we dropped this morning. So make sure you check that out and shout him out. And so, Stephanie's Places is on ESPN. But What's Your Story? Presented by Fanatics is her podcast. The first guest is UFC president and CEO Dana White. But WWE's Ridge Hall in response to being called a generationally bad wrestler. So he's just been healing really well on fans.
Oh, here we go again. Looks like this individual correlates cool moves with good wrestler. Let me let you in on a little psychologist.
Joe choked Moxley. That's how it went down. So there you go. So instead of beating
Moxley, so we're gonna get Joe and Moxley at Double or Nothing.
Well, why don't they just have Joe beat Moxley for the world title? We just end this already.
Not the story. The story
it's so stupid. It's so fucking bad.
The story is that Moxley beats all the old champions.
I'm a villain, a bad guy, a heel. You're not supposed to like anything I do. I should have no redeeming qualities. Whether that be the way I wrestle, the way I talk, even my mere presence you should dislike. So with all that being said, and judging by your comment, I think you're the one that's been worked, sunshine. Oh, and before I forget, you're a virgin. Ta-da, lad. Oh, here we go again.
Calling people virgins. I thought that was funny. So, Vegas is ready for Mania. We got Elvis here. We found him. He's alive.
Fantastic. Very polite.
There you go. We found Elvis. He's alive. Tupac's around there too somewhere. So there's only one room for one Khan in the wrestling business, and that's Nick Khan. So let's hear what Nick Khan has to say.
In terms of the other wrestling promotional company,
we read this quote, but let's listen to it from Khan's mouth here.
Yeah, well, what is with the aggregators typing the quotes? Like it's 2025. Just get us a video. We can decide for ourselves what they said.
In terms of the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers, and we're happy about that. When contractually, they're available to be, talked to and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over, and nothing but respect for the father who
that was way too nice.
Finances it and owns the Jaguars and all those other things.
That was very pleasant. Look at you.
That's it.
So magnanimous.
I'm 50 now, so different than when we were much younger.
And that's all it is. Like, they just don't take it serious because they know that Tony Khan, like his dad's just funding this. And don't be shocked if it comes out that like the Khans are just funding their own TV deal to some degree too. And that's why Warner's down with this,
going back to that comment about them like not benching talent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're gearing up for another show? And do you think there would be an appetite by a distributor to carry another show?
What, AEW?
No.
WWE.
WWE.
Yeah, I know that Nick Khan really wanted to make NXT just like a full-blown third brand and to have like other shit as developmental. Right. So they could be trying to launch maybe a third show and then have three brands. I don't know. That would be a lot of world title. You'd have to unify all the titles for that to work for me. But speaking of working, man, X has gone to work making these little emojis for WrestleMania. So when you hashtag your favorite superstars, you get these little emojis here. So, yeah, let's check them out, I guess. I mean.
Oh, and Snapchat did a whole Bitmoji thing, too.
There you go for WWE. So they're rocking, man.
Again,
mainstream again.
Tell me they're not mainstream.
Yeah. So Nick Khan said it was so obvious to me that CM Punk wasn't a cancer, and he's been a gem to work with. So there you go. Triple H responds to the IWC with Peter Rosenberg to IWC criticism regarding Jay Uso's in-ring skills. Okay, so let's take a listen to this.
Why is this the right moment for Jay Uso to be in the spot?
Because
it's a real question.
It happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen organically along the way that get you to where you want to be. And Jay, through the bloodline saga, was sort of
it's quiet on their end, I assure you.
A linchpin in that storytelling, then goes off on his own. And, you know, a lot of people question whether these guys, once they leave the bloodline, once they leave Roman, once they leave Heyman, are they going to be anything more than a tag team that they already were? Or are they going to just be what they were? Or are they going to succeed and be anything more? You give them the opportunity to do all those things.
Yeah, so Jay just exceeding expectations in that. I mean, we don't have to listen to the whole clip. So I don't know. Trinity just went insane on Twitter, and Jade Cargill and Naomi have been going back and forth. And Jade Cargill says, just like we know you went to the doctor for your ass shots. And then Trinity goes, Naomi says, the only ass shots I get are from Big Jim, dude. Oh my God.
You what?
Hilarious. I just thought that was funny to bring to the show. But guys, you know what day it is? Not only is it Rusev Day, but it is Ren's Day. We got to figure this out, man. Rusev Day and Ren's Day on the same day. Pretty nuts. But yeah, it's Ren's Day, and here's our final bit of WWE news. And we love Ren's Day here at PWT. And here is, a happy Ren's Day with Ren Kowski here. Ren Sinclair, Maddie Renkowski, Ren Sinclair.
Hey guys, happy Ren's Day. Sorry it's later than normal. I have been procrastinating on packing for Mania weekend in Vegas. Come see me on Friday. Superstar row, photo row. Let's go ahead and get started though. Number 1, what is the most unusual venue you've wrestled at? So being an indie worker, we work at a lot of weird things, but they're almost considered normal to us, like VFW, churches, school gymnasiums. I think the weirdest place that I've worked at is a parking lot in a car dealership in Houston. But I will say that tops that. The worst locker room that I've ever been in is a dumpster. It was a dumpster behind the venue that had like one of those little fences around the dumpster. That's where we changed. Number 2, a lot of people ask this one. So if you are stuck on a deserted island and you could only bring 3 things, what are they and why? I would bring Bear Grylls because he's
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls, and like he's got me.
This is the future Chelsea Green right here. AEW fumbled Ren Sinclair. Let everybody know.
He was in that company.
Yeah, she was there during the pandemic era a lot, and she worked a lot with Jade Cargill, teaming up with her and then getting beat by her. And when she was with Jade, man, I was like, yo, this girl right here, her name was Maddie Renkowski, now Ren Sinclair in NXT. But I was like, whoever that girl is, you guys can go way back, fact check me on it. And I was like, whoever, Renkowski is, like, she's good. She's money, man. She's money. And then when she was released from AEW, I was like, damn, I hope she's in NXT. Boom, a little while later, she's in NXT. And before she went to NXT, she was doing sketches like this and staying relevant and cutting good promos. And she was just working the indies and cutting promos like this. And to me, this is the future Chelsea Green, I'm telling you.
I would also bring
who this was.
Yeah.
Like an RV or like
she's in the No Quarter Catch crew in NXT.
Some type of shelter. And then I would bring like something to like filter the water, like water filtration tablets. I don't know. But if I could like cheat and not play the game right, I would say like a boat and like a ton of gasoline. Third question.
Like she looks at her hand, there's nothing written on her hand. You know what I'm saying? Like she's real good at these bits.
Yeah,
we're running
a TikTok kid.
Yeah.
Out of time. Am I an honorary member of the RenQCC? Well, you see, the thing is, I would say yes, but then like Charles, he said that I wasn't allowed to induct people into our group because last time I tried to give someone a tryout, it didn't end up well, and I ended up getting hurt, and also my feelings were hurt really bad. So in a roundabout way, it's like a yes, but also a no, but also a maybe.
Yeah, she has a future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE news. Round of applause.